ever played an instrument, hit a note, and thought, wait, why does that sound off? Or maybe you've heard a singer nail every note, but something still feels weird. Well, get ready, because today we're exposing one of the biggest secrets of Western music. And trust me, it's weirder than you think. Stick around, and by the end, you'll never hear music the same way again. Oh, and if you love mind-blowing music facts, hit that subscribe button. Western music is built on a system of notes that, believe it or not, isn't actually natural. It's like trying to fit a round peg into a square hole. Our musical system forces notes into a framework that isn't perfectly aligned with nature's frequencies. The result? Some notes always sound a little out of tune.
But why?
And how did we get here? Let's dive in. Let's start with a mind-blowing fact. Music is based on physics. Every note we hear is just a frequency, sound waves vibrating at different speeds. Some frequencies naturally blend well together, like a perfect marriage. Others, well, it's like forcing pineapple on pizza. Way back when ancient civilizations figured out that certain notes sounded right together. This is where we get the concept of harmony. These relationships between notes are mathematical, literally ratios like 2:1, an octave, or 3:2, a perfect fifth. Simple, beautiful, and perfectly in tune, or so we thought. Here's where things get messy. Western music is based on something called the equal temperament system. Basically, we divided the musical scale into 12 equally spaced notes. Sounds fair, right? Well, not really. To make this system work, we had to slightly alter the natural frequencies of notes. That means every single note in our system is slightly off from its perfect, natural tuning. That's why, if you ever listen to traditional music from cultures that don't use equal temperament, like Indian classical music or Balinese Gamelan, it sounds richer, more in tune, almost hypnotic. Okay, so why did we mess with nature? Blame it on keyboard instruments. The piano, for example, can't adjust its tuning in real time like a violin or a singer can. If we stuck with natural tuning, we have to retune the piano for every song. Imagine your pianist stopping mid-concert to grab a wrench. So, around the 17th century, composers and instrument makers agreed to use equal temperament. It was a compromise. Now, musicians could play in any key without retuning. But at what cost? Well, we gave up pure tuning in favor of convenience. That's why trained musicians sometimes hear a piano and go, that note is almost right, but not quite. Ever hear two notes played together and feel your ears cringe? That's called beating. When two frequencies are close but not quite in tune, they create a wobbling, clashing sound. Western music's tuning system creates micro-discrepancies between notes, so even the best musicians are always slightly out of tune. That's why a cappella groups constantly adjust their pitch, and why some digital tuners let you tune slightly off equal temperament for more natural sound. There is a better way. It's called just intonation, a tuning system based on pure mathematical ratios. It's perfectly in tune with nature, but there's a catch. It only works in certain keys. That's why modern musicians rarely use it outside of experimental or historical performances. If you've ever heard a barbershop quartet sing in perfect harmony, that's because they naturally adjust their pitch towards just intonation, even without realizing it. So what does this mean for you? Well, next time you hear a note that sounds a little off, you'll know why. Musicians often adjust for these imperfections. String players bend their pitch slightly, and singers instinctively correct it. Even electronic music producers sometimes tweak notes out of equal temperament for a more organic feel. The lesson? Music is more flexible than we think. Even within the rules of Western music, there's room to push boundaries and explore new sounds. So go ahead, experiment, play with tuning, and maybe even question the system a little. If this blew your mind even a little, smash that like button and subscribe for more music deep dives. And tell me in the comments, what's a song that sounds slightly out of tune to you? Let's talk about it.